How'd you start working for Jim Cornette?
Oh gosh, Jim is Jim Cornette. He is but he is such a genius in pro wrestling industry. The guy's like I'd say he's like up there with Kevin Sullivan as far as being the encyclopedia in the business. I mean, he can
Yeah.
tell you events years ago and how show events, how much they made, and how much they drew, and always some great stories with Cornette. I mean, it was one of the few in the business that, well, many rather, that started when he was the photographer.
Right.
Paul Heyman, same way. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, same way. I mean, it was, but he started out being a photographer and he learned the business, with Jerry the King Lawler and, through Terry Funk and guys like that. And, and gosh, needless to say, he was one of the best managers ever in the industry, managing one of the greatest tag teams of all time in the Midnight Express. I mean, and the art that Midnight Express and Rock and Roll Express, fantastic. And that time, it was it was it was unparalleled, and it was the measuring stick for tag team wrestling to this day. So it was amazing to even be a part of the show, same shows as them, and to witness the masterpieces they would create, man, and then make it look so effortlessly.
Yeah. Dennis and Bobby, or Bobby and Stan. You're not finding a bad match any of them ever had. But
No,
phenomenal, and
not
it
at
holds up
all.
today. When you watch it on YouTube today, it blows away anything you're going to see on Raw or SmackDown. I promise you that.
Oh, and Bobby Eaton, he's like, to this day, Bobby Eaton and Ricky Steamboat are like two of the smoothest guys I've ever been in the ring with, hands down. I mean, and Bobby Eaton was such a nice guy.
Yeah.
I remember I was at a convention one time, and uh, Stanley was, excuse me, Steve Curran, rather, was giving a speech, and he said, "I would like to address pound for pound one of the greatest workers in our business, Bobby." Right? Everybody clapped, right? And to show you what a nice guy Bobby Eaton was, and I mean, he was very, very shy, right? Bobby Eaton was at in a lot of sense, and like when they applauded, right? Bobby Eaton was literally trying to hide. And
Yeah.
Cornette was trying to pull him. Hey, Bobby, take your flowers. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, but I mean, yeah, Bobby was just. He doesn't get enough credit how great he was. I mean, and being in the ring with him, and I knew it was gonna be a good night whenever I was wrestling Bobby Eaton.
Sure. Sure. How'd you end up working for Jim though? How'd you end up at Smoky Mountain?
Oh man, it was pretty wild because I was just doing independence at the time for a couple of years, and then some friends of mine were telling me about Smoky about wrestling popping up, so I went to the show, one of the shows, and got to meet Cornette and Ricky and Robert, Rock Express, Tracy Smothers, and Dr. Tom Pritchard, and uh, Jimmy Golden, Robert Fuller, and Dutch Mantel, and it's like one thing led to another, and I started going around hitting the towns, smuggling wrestling tapings in the towns and everything, and it was really cool at the time because Smoky Mountain Wrestling was kind of like the intermediate between WCW and WWE,
Right.
right? And ECW in a lot of sense too, as well. So it it was really cool because you had a mixture of the veterans, some of the names I just mentioned at the time. I get Kevin Sullivan too, and a lot of the upcoming younger stars like the Night Stalker, uh, Brian Clark, right, and Chris Jericho and Lance Storm and Taz, and Bobby Blaze, and the whole Armstrong family, basically,
Right.
which they took me in as like one of their own. The Armstrongs did, and such a great wrestling family, and you know, they're right up there with the Guerreros and all the some of the greatest wrestling families ever in history. So,
So I broke in New Jersey in 1992. Everybody in New Jersey who was breaking in wanted to work with Chris Candido.
oh my
He was
gosh,
so good. Did you get a chance to work with Chris in Smoky Mountain?
yes, oh my God. I mean,
What a talent.
I always loved wrestling, Chris. We had a feud at the time for the Smoky Mountain Wrestling Television, beat the champ
Right.
deal, and it was, and Chris was amazing, and it was funny because Chris and I were similar in age, and we're both young, both hungry, and wanted to get as much as we can out of the business. And we have such a great guy, uh, and we were we hit it off because we had a lot in common. Our personalities and everything, and we like to kid and joke and carry on. And Chris was, he was another guy that was very giving, and he won the most out of every match he's ever
Yeah.
been. And so and being in the ring with him was a privilege. It really was. And some I always cherish, and I miss Chris to this day. Such a great dude and great talent. And you can do anything.
Yeah.
Literally can do anything.
And I miss Chris too. I think about him a lot. Chris Candido loved pro wrestling. That's the number one thing I could say about him. He absolutely loved pro wrestling. He really did.
I,
How'd you get along with Tammy?
oh, we got along great. Yeah. It's funny because Chris and Tammy, we would kind of like bump into each other at different times. Like, we, of course, we were in Smoky Mountain together, and then later on, they were in WCW for a brief time with me
Right.
later on. And, we've always gotten along great. Um, uh, it we were all like young then, right? And they just wanted to just do the best we can in the industry and make a name for ourselves and all that. So but yeah, they've always treated me good, and that good. Like I said, Chris was good people.
Yeah. I always say this about Tammy. I'm from Jersey. I've known her. I'm 50. I've known Tammy since I was 17 years old. Been
Hmm.
around her between shows and at like she's had me and my wife over for barbecues because she lived in Jersey. I've been
Hmm.
around her, let's say 150 times. I've never ever, not once, seen the bad Tammy. Not one time. So I can
You
only
know,
judge someone based on how
me
they
neither.
treated me. Yeah, she was always good to me, always good to my wife. I have nothing. Of course, what she did is terrible, and she has to pay for that. But personally, I can't say a bad thing about Tammy.
I'm with you, man. Same thing. And gosh, I miss Chris immensely, and and Tammy. Like I said, there's people in the business, saying, well, they have issues and all that. But if they treat you good, you can't, hold that against them. And I, I appreciate Tammy, being good to me and everything, and Chris being good to me and everything to this day. So I hope whatever issues she's got going on, she can work out and get through it, and enjoy the rest of her life.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I've been around Jim Cornette a lot. I worked Smoky Mountain TV. When he came to Jersey, we'd work together. Love Jim Cornette. Any epic Jim Cornette rant stories? Because I did Smoky Mountain TV one night and I saw about 14 different rants. Just that one night. Any
Oh
good
my gosh.
any good crazy Jim Cornette stories?
I remember one time, because Jim always treated us great. He always treated the boys and girls great. But man, he would give the crew what for if they didn't like step up to par, right? And I remember one time him, you hear it, him going off on some of the crew next door. There wasn't a locker room. We put our ears to the wall to hear what he was saying. And I remember him saying, "What do you think these things are? Tonka toys?" And I'm like, "Oh man, I had tears in my eyes." Oh, it was great. But Jim, he's such a great guy, and like I said, so knowledgeable. I mean, I mean, creatively, he's God. He never stops thinking about ideas and all that. And I know Brian Hildebrand used to tell me when they're him and Jimmy when he gets together with Jimmy, it was like always they're always coming up all these crazy angles and stories and everything. And oh man, I can only imagine.
Jim's very generous with his knowledge too. If you show that you want to learn and you show up and you look the part and you act the part, Jim will have all the time in the world for you. He'll definitely pass on his knowledge to you. Just a great guy.
Oh, I'll be forever grateful for Jim Cornette, what he's helped me, and with when I was starting my career and all that. He really gave me a lot of good advice and really stuck his neck out to advocate for me. So I always respect him for that.
Any social media you want to plug? Any information on if people want to reach you?
Yeah, sure. I'm on YouTube. Just youtube.com @ Maestro on YouTube. I'm on TikTok at Rob Kellum. I'm also on Instagram at Maestro Rob Kellum and Facebook at Stro the Maestro. And yeah, keep in touch with me. I got merch on sale, and I got a GoFundMe going on as well. You can check it's on there. You can check it out. I'm still paying medical expenses for what has happened to me in the past couple of years, but I'm on a I'm trying to get better, and I'm slowly healing. It's just a slow process, but I just wanted to thank whoever's listening here for this interview. I just wanted to thank everybody for sticking by me and believing in me and believing in the industry and the business and believing in all of us because we love we love you, and I know you guys love us in return. So we're all in this together,